Hello, everybody. Welcome to the bonus Real Talk playoff edition of the Too Good to Be True podcast. I am your host, Pascal Mayala. Today we had the Eastern Conference finals between the Pacers and the Celtics. So we're gonna get into it a little while. But first, I want you guys to listen to this podcast on Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, or Google Podcast Manager, or on Spotify if you want to listen to the podcast of my previous episode, or you can listen in on YouTube on Too Good to Be True podcast with Pascal Mayala. Every content is over on YouTube, and I want you to do me a favor. Like, subscribe, notification, and leave your comment, because your comment is very important to me, and I wish you guys a good listening on my podcast. So let's get right into it. So game 1 in the Eastern Conference Finals between the Celtics and the Pacers. We had the Celtics victory over the Pacers in overtime, 133-128. The leading scorer for the Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum, he had 36 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. He shot for 12 for 26 in the field goal, 2 and 8 in the 3-point, and 10 out of 12 free throws. To his partner in crime, Jaylen Brown, who had 26 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. He shot for 10 out of 20 in the field goal, 1 and 4 in the 3-point, 5 and 8 at the free throw line. Now to the Indiana Pacers. The top leading scorer, Tyrese Halliburton, he got 25 points, 10 assists, and 3 rebounds. He had 8 for 18 in the field goal, 6 for 14 in the 3-point, 3 out of 3 in the free throw line. His partner in crime, Pascal Siakam, 24 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 12 for 23 in the field goal, 0 for 2 in the 3-point. And also he had a lot, actually I'm not going to put the turnover because it doesn't count, but whatever is that. And also Miles Turner, he had an extraordinary game. Maybe we can call the Indiana Pacers the Big Three, So Miles Turner, 23 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, 5 for the 10 on the field goal, 2 and 4 in the 3-point, and 0 in the free throw. So what can I conclude? Because I'll tell you what, the first half, it was very competitive. It was very competitive, The Pacers, they tied the game in the halftime. That's lead to the third quarter. This is where I thought the Pacers might won in the second half. So I looking at the stat. Actually, I look into the third quarter. The Boston Celtics led by 30-29 in the third quarter. But in the fourth quarter, I thought Indiana should have won the game. Well, a turnover from Pascal Siakam that led to the Boston Celtics balls, and Jaylen Brown had the ball, shoot threes, and made it. So that led to overtime. So in overtime, the Celtics led 16-11 in the overtime. I thought the Pacers almost won that game, but they blew it up. And the Celtics, I don't think it felt like a victory, because I can tell you right now that in the second half they played very poorly. I mean, very poorly in the game. I'm gonna be honest with you. Even though you felt like a you felt that like a victory, but in reality, it wasn't really a victory. I'll be honest with you on that part. So I'm trying to look for the team stat of this game. I'm gonna look at the team stat between the Celtics and the Pacers, because I know in the field goal the Pacers led by had 53% over the Boston Celtics 47. In the 3-point line, I mean the Pacers overtook the 3-point over the Celtics of 37% for the Pacers and 33% for the Celtics. The free throws, I mean, like I said, the free throw percentage, I mean, the Pacers 90%, the Celtics 80%. But this is where it's interesting. Like I said, one thing I did say I was complaining about the Pacers is about their rebound. In their rebound, their rebounding, especially on defense, they need to catch more rebound. And while against the Celtics, they didn't have Kristaps Porzingis, but they did have Al Horford. So in the offensive rebound, the Pacers had 10, the Celtics got 13. But here the defensive rebound, the Pacers had 34 defensive rebound over the Celtics 30 rebound. So I gotta say this for the Celtics, it doesn't feel like a victory. It doesn't feel like a victory because they almost blew it up. They blew it. I'll be honest with you. But they need to adjust. The Celtics need to adjust in game 2 on Thursday. But shout out also to I'll give a shout out to Boston Celtics Drew Holiday, which I forgot to mention his stats on game 1. He had 28 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, shot for 10 for 16 in the field goal, and 8 for the 3-point. So we can say that Drew Holiday is the X factor. So the only thing we gotta wait is Kristaps Porzingis, because he's not gonna come back in game 2. I believe he'll come back in game 3, and that's where the Celtics are gonna go right to the NBA Finals. To me. And I don't want to give the preview. I want to give it tomorrow after the Mav and Timberwolves game 1. So that's going to be interesting in game 2, but I will say this for the Pacers: they need to play smart. That's my only advice I would say. Play smart. Now the preview for Game 1 in the NBA Finals between the Mav and the Timberwolves. What game 1 will expect? It will be playing Timberwolves. Remember, Timberwolves got the home court advantage. So what do I expect for game 1? Game 1, I expect both teams play great defense, and that Luka and Kyrie will be consistent, which I expect that they'll be consistent. And that the team, I mean the rest of the team need to be consistent also, to show up at a la Team Tim Hardaway, he need to show up in game 1. And that Jason Kidd will adjust the play one play at a time for Luka and Kyrie and the rest of the crew. Now for the Timberwolves, what I expect, I expect for the Wolves to play exactly what they did against the Nuggets: defense, defense, and defense. And Anthony Edwards will shine in the conference finals. Cat also, which I'm very proud of, because everybody were really, really critical against him, including myself. Rudy Gobert also, but he's gonna show up, and the rest of the team in the bench, Nas Reed gonna show up, and the rest of the team gonna show up. Mike Conley gonna show up. So it's gonna be an interesting dynamic in Minneapolis. So that's all I'm going to say about that for today. Make sure to, like I said, listen to this podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, every platform you want to hear this podcast. And also you can listen to this podcast on YouTube. I did release the Too Good to Be True podcast of the Diddy situation and the playoff preview yesterday. So also for the YouTube, like I said, like, subscribe, notification, and leave your comment on my YouTube channel. If you want to follow me on social media, my X, formerly Twitter, is at Belly versus PMM. On Instagram is Pascal_Mayala_15. Same thing with Threads. On Facebook is Pascal Mayala. I never put Facebook on it, but I don't know if everybody goes to Facebook right now in this day and age. But thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow.